Good evening. um, it's 11:01, and I decided that I should run something like a podcast or some sort. Just listening to music and talking about whatever I come up with. So, it's kind of fun to be here, I guess. So, alright, so it is February 17th, and I didn't really do much today. There's just, I don't know, school and such, and then you walk around for hours and hours on end with nothing, just walking. And the way you walk is just like, well, I should introduce what the podcast or some sort is going to be about. So basically it's like you sit, I'm talking to you. Yes, you. Yeah. I don't know where you're sitting or if you're standing or whatever, but you know, you're listening, I guess. I will be here and I'll be talking. I'll be your background voice, I guess, if you want something to pass the time. I'll be talking about stuff like from pastel colors to deathly spiders or whatever. Just anything that comes to mind. So, where was I? Well, I was thinking, I was at school today, and I have this weirdest thing with pastel colors, and I really like them a lot. And it's just the colors remind me of like a field of some sort. Just imagine a field filled with nothing but just colors of post-it notes. They're pastel, I think, and just the colors of post-it notes spread out everywhere, and it's beautiful, and the light is shining down on them with this eerie gaze. But it's great, and that's what makes it amazing, to be honest. But the thing about podcasts is that they're interesting due to the speaker. The way the speaker talks, the way the speaker wants to do whatever, the way the speaker just does whatever. So, let's see what I can talk about. What's the thing that's on the top? What's the question? What's a question that I could ask myself? Well, there's things that are alive, right? And it's pretty cool, to be honest. Having a life, having the own personality that people take you up on, your own ways of doing whatever the person does, your own ways of how you think, your own ways of how you maneuver around, how you walk, how you draw, how you talk. And it's very interesting if you think about it. Just sitting there with nothing but your own personality and just yourself, and it's great. And you just you sit there and you wonder to yourself, how am I influencing people? And you do a lot of influencing due to your personality and stuff, and I find that amazing. Just a single person can change your entire view of things, can change your entire opinion, can change your entire view on society. Things can change whatever you're like looking at, whatever you play, whatever. It's great, and I find that really amazing due to like how it goes around, it comes around. The sayings that we say, we still say them after a long time, and it just depends on the personality of who and what says it. So it's great. Like, there's a lot of people who differ in writing styles. Some of them like to have it short and sweet. Some of them like it to have really long and just very lengthy. And they like to create that story that they've wanted to make for a while. The story that enwraps your mind inside of it, and it makes you want to listen more or read more, and you find so interested in it. You get this passion to read. You get the passion to wonder what's going to happen in the world that they have created with with little words and descriptions and their own piece of writing. And they create an imaginary thing. They create something that people have never thought of, that they never thought of. And the thought that they created was so important for your story, and it was so important just for you to listen to. It was so important just so you could see what they were like thinking about, what they thought, what little author notes at the end of the books explain what they thought about writing the book. And each one is so different. They got influenced by friends, or influenced by a book they read, influenced by whatever happened to them. They wrote a story off of it, and that's what's amazing to me, at least. And that things like that can happen due to just a tiny shove, or like a tiny piece of string hanging from a tree or whatever. A little costume that people make up. Things that people imagine in the world. Aliens, mermaids, vampires. It's amazing, and it just creates entire communities, and it creates things that you could never imagine of building, or they never imagined they could build something so nice. People who write stories, they move their mind to go around the thoughts that they were thinking. It goes around whatever beliefs, or whatever they thought of, which I'm repeating, but it's like so it's like they're flying off. They're flying off with their own imagination, and it makes them so unique of how they created the story. Stories made by fans, they're in their own way. They love their own writing. They love that they could grow from that. From a little tiny sentence could become a giant 2K word story. It could get so many views. People read it a lot. They love it, and they create art. They create amazing paintings of whatever they saw, whatever they read, and that pulls people in, and that makes the positive communities that we see today. And it's great because a lot of things can happen due to that. People can be inspired. People can be just happy due to the thought of whatever they encountered. And honestly, there's a lot of those things that inspired me to do whatever I can do here, and whatever I push on. There's a lot of people and a lot of things that inspire me to go and explore the world out there. But it depends on who you're speaking to, who you're talking to, your tone of voice. Everything is a little part of you, and that makes you special. And I know that sounds cheesy, and then it sounds even cheesier to say it was cheesy, but it's remarkable just due to one person being in control, or someone who creates something that is wondrous and amazing, and just like, even if it's just really, really kind of bad, and it's just for fun, it's amazing how people can create that from little sentences and words and knowledge that people have put in our mind a long time ago. We were really, really little, and that creates this enwrapment of ourselves. It makes it just so great. Well, I should push off that topic. I've been talking for that. So, if you are still listening, which I hope is only a few minutes in, how's your day? Or just look at it. If it wasn't good, I hope you have a better day tomorrow. You can do this. You have great things you can accomplish with this. And you cannot give up. Giving up is the worst thing that you can do. Unless you know it's physically and emotionally and it's like you can't do it. You literally cannot do anything. You are stuck in that place. You cannot do it. But let me tell you what, if something is possible, how does that make it impossible? If it's impossible, how could it be possible? Whoops. But whatever situation you're in right now, if you're hidden from people, if you're feeling hurt inside, if you do not know what to do next, if you have to make a project for tomorrow, if you have to do all these things, just know that I believe in you and you can do whatever you want, and it's the power that I can bestow upon you. No. The power that I can believe in you, and that's what makes it what I want to do. I believe in you, alright? You got that? Ram it up your head, you just know. Well, I keep sticky notes, and I have this box actually right now, and it's filled with little things that I keep upon the year. And it's filled with little notes and little assignments or whatever that I started. And at the end of years, I look through it. And I look through and I see whatever I've created during that year and see what I've improved or what I've gone bad at or whatever, because I have tons of shiz in here and it's great. And it's just a reflection upon yourself of during that year. Was it good? Was it bad? It doesn't matter. You improved in whatever you wanted to do. You improved in emotionally accepting yourself, emotionally realizing that something that you've done was good or bad. You realize that you're self-aware of what's happening around you. You thought about what you did. You acted on whatever you wanted to do. You made friends. You spoke. You are very, very inspirational. Just being a human being. I don't care if you had a bad past or you're not good or whatever. It's on the terms of, if something bad happens and you did it, you should, well, how do I say this without, you have the right to say that and accept that you've done it. You can take the word for it and you can get it over with, or you could hold the guilt and hold it on your shoulders for a while until you forget, but it'll never leave. Let me just tell you that. And if you can't do anything, forgive yourself. Okay? Good. Anyway, I've been reading a few books lately, and one of them is for school, and it's very interesting. It's called Tangerine, and a lot of people already know what it is, and I find it really, really, like, in the beginning, it's really weird, but then after you start getting into it more, it's very, well, how do I say? It's very interesting, so to speak, of how it reflects upon how teens literally act under situations like this. And it's just, look at the things around you right now. If you're at home right now, or if you're outside, just look at your clothes or whatever. Reflect on how you, just look at yourself. You have your own things, and you take care of things in your own style. And whatever you have around your room, that's your thing. I have a guitar and I don't even play it. I have posters around my room. I have knickknacks and little objects that mean little importance to me, or they mean a lot of importance to me. I have quarters and coins around my desk. I have little paintbrushes with little tiny specks of paint that I used to draw. I have projects I'm working on. I little maps of worlds posted on my wall. Just okay, so I'll give you a moment. I'm going to explain my room, I guess, and I will let you imagine. So if you're at home, you can close your eyes, I guess, if you want. I'm not sure. Imagine a desk with a giant sort of computer about the size of 6 of your hands across and 2 of your hands down. That's how big it is. The light shines very dimly against the blue wall, the deep blue wall, just like the ocean. And there's knickknacks and little things scattering everywhere, and you look at it, and it's just a mess. And there's little paintings inside of the desk, and it's great. And you see a curtain, a light blue curtain hanging off. Dark moonlight shines from it. The light still shines in the room, yes, but the darkness of outside and the moonlight continues to shine. The guitar hangs, and it dimly just is there. I am a horrible job at describing things, but hopefully that opened up something for you. Well, I find kindness to be a really important thing of whatever you're talking about. If it's just a small little act of kindness, if it's a helping hand in a project or piece of homework, or a helping hand in your work at home, or helping a hand at whatever you're working on right now, or anything that's going on in your life, kindness is something that is kind of rare for this world. With something as easy as a thank you or you're welcome, things aren't shared that easily due to how people act these days. We are very private to ourselves. We create environments that we feel secure in, and we don't want to oppress ourselves to other people to either get judged or just don't feel comfortable with. So with something like that, you can really change a lot of how people think of you. You tell them something in the way that they react. You're scared of that sometimes, that there's nothing to be scared of. You are amazing, and it's fine that you just sit there and you experience the kindness that people give to you, how people experience your own kindness, your own words of how you speak, your own whatever you do, and you have your own harshness too. You have your own tolerance. Everything about you is special, and the kindness that people spread out depends on your personality. If you like getting into fights, well, you got a fightful kindness personality, I guess. Whatever you love to do, whatever you find great in doing, I bet it is great. I bet it's cool too. Well, I think I'm gonna leave this podcast at 20 minutes, so in a bit, I guess. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. It was a kind of 20-minute long, and I mostly rambled, but hopefully you found something in this. So I'll tell you that drowsiness is surely the new attraction. Good night, guys.